Hey there! Welcome to another lesson. I am going to be making a tissue paper flower today, and really I have done this numerous times over a lot of years now to make beautiful flower bouquets and for decorations. So the bigger your tissue paper and tissue paper squares, the bigger your flower or puff ball is going to be. And then the smaller it is, then obviously the smaller it will be, correct? So I am going to be using some things that I just have around the house. And I typically, if I'm at the studio, would use pot cleaner for the flower stems, but I don't have those at home. But I did have little twigs in my backyard. So I gathered up some twigs, and I always buy a ton of white tissue paper because it's great for gifts, right? And you'll need some scissors, potentially some glue or tape, and then some ribbon or string, or if you have pipe cleaner, that's great, or like a twist tie from a bread bag, something like that would work as well. So it's pretty, and then I'm going to be using markers, but it's definitely not mandatory. So it's a pretty small supply list, and a lot of this can be substituted, okay? Really, probably the only thing that wouldn't be substituted would be the tissue paper. So the tissue paper already came divided in thirds. Well, almost, okay? And so what I am going to do is I am going to try to divide it into thirds a little bit better. So I am going to open it up and kind of recrease it here. And so we'll fold this down just a little bit, and then we fold the bottom up. And before we do any creasing, we just sort of eyeball. So I think that's going to be a good guesstimate. So I will give a crease right there. And then I will take this bottom piece and fold it up. So what I did was I tried to fold 2 pieces of square tissue paper into thirds, okay? Now, I need it to be a square. So the best way to get a square is to take this edge and fold it up to the top. And if you've done any origami lessons with me, you kind of know that that's how I always turn my rectangle papers into squares. So I fold the short edge up to the long edge, and then we will trim right here, just like that. I want to keep those papers together because this is not going to be enough layers. Now, because I folded, I have to stick my scissors in here in the folds so that I can cut there and give a cut here, just like that. And then check your other sides and make sure there's no folds there. Okay, then I'll stick this back on the paper, just like that. Give a cut here, and remember we have a fold again because we had a fold earlier with the same chunk of paper, right? And then we turn over this way, and really the hardest part is getting all your papers to stay together and right on top of each other. So this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, probably 12 pieces. So I am going to take out quite a few, and I'm going to just do 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do 9 sheets. Now, the more sheets you do, the thicker and more fluffy your flower is going to be. The less sheets you do, it might look kind of like a sad flower. So I highly recommend doing at least probably 6 sheets, potentially even more. Now, the bigger your flower is, the more sheets of tissue paper you need. The smaller your flower is, the less sheets. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to fan fold our flower. So that means I fold over, crease, and then flip backwards and crease, and flip forward and crease, and flip backwards and crease, and forward and backwards. And it may not always work out perfectly. It just happened to this time. If it doesn't and it's not enough to fold it one more time, you can just trim it off. But hopefully it's pretty close to perfect. There is no perfect in life, but we can try to get it close, right? Now, I'll see you in 1 second. Okay, I had to grab my curling ribbon here. Now again, anything that you have to tie with will work just fine, okay? So I'm going to cut me off a piece, make sure we have enough room to tie, and now I need to know where the middle of this is, correct? So I am going to fold in half, sneak my little ribbon in there, sneak it in, there we go. And if you had a friend to help you, they could hold your tissue while you tie. But I'm going to try one-handed here. Okay, there's one, and I'm trying to tie really tight. If you're doing a twist tie, twist it pretty tight. Okay, so there's one, and then I'll tie again. There's a knot. Now, that's awesome. Now I know where the middle is, okay? I am definitely going to keep this extra because that's what I'm going to use to tie it to my stick, okay? Now, this doesn't look like a flower. Before you open it, don't forget to do this part. You have two choices, well, you have multiple choices, but my two favorite choices are doing a triangle cut at the end, so it looks like a triangle, okay? Or you could curve your cut just like this. There we go. Perfect. So it looks like a frowny face, although this is going to make somebody smile. Now, I would do the same at both ends. So I would either make both ends pointy or both ends curved. I would not do them separate. Now, one more thing before you open. You think about what color the special person you are giving these flowers to would like. Now, if you used color tissue paper, you don't have to do this step, although you can, and it just gives it one extra little oomph, little extra detail, right? So I am trying to really color those tips. You could even color these edges, just like this. Same thing on the other side. And you do whatever colors you want, or do multiple colors. That could even be really cool. I'm all about experimenting when it comes to art and just trying new things, seeing what works, what doesn't work, what's easy, what's too hard. And we just don't know until we try things, right? I think that's something that I probably learned from my grandpa but it didn't refer to art. It referred to foods. He never wanted us grandkids to say we didn't like something without trying it. And we did not have the right to say we didn't like something until we tried it, right? Which kind of got my whole mindset to just have that growth mindset. We try things to see if we like it or if they work. And then if we don't like it or it doesn't work, then we don't have to do it, right? Okay. Well, I guess there are some things we have to do that we don't want to do or we don't like, but There's some things we don't have to either. I'm putting a little bit of yellow in the middle. The middle is really not going to be that noticeable, but just in case we can see a little peek of it, I'm going to stick some yellow in there, okay? So this is what it looks like. Just like that. And just like that. And we got our tips and we got our edges. You can even spread them out a little bit if you need to color. You could give it a little squirt, just super fine mist of water, and that is gonna, because this is tissue paper and it's absorbent, that'll help the ink kind of go and suck in, but let it dry completely before you open it up. Otherwise, we know wet tissue paper tears so easy because dry tissue paper tears easy, right? Okay, so now I am going to stretch this out without tearing it. Stretch it out a little, okay? Stretch this side out a little, as much as I can without compromising or tearing. And I will say, if it does tear some, don't even freak out about it, okay? Because more than likely it won't even be noticeable. All right. So now, as long as your hands are clean, remember we don't touch our face or our mouth or our eyes unless we have clean hands, but as long as your hands are clean, give them just a little lick, and that way you can grab just one piece of tissue paper. Now as I grab it, I am going to pull it towards the middle, pull it up a little, and curve it. Do you see how I curved it right here? Okay. And again, just like that. And again. Just like that. And then we just keep doing it and doing it. Okay. Now that is 4 of them. I'm going to do one more this way. Okay, and then this back one, I'm going to come the opposite direction. So I flipped it over, and now I'm going to come this way. And so what happens, there. So you can have a full flower going every direction, or we could just have them all coming the same direction. So I could just have them all flipping upwards like this. So it's your choice. If you're doing a really big full like pom-pom decoration type thing, then you want it to go both directions, under and over. Okay, if that makes sense. Okay, so that is what the curved side looks like, and it really looks like a flower, right? Now the other side is the same exact thing. It's just going to be a different type of petal. It's just going to have kind of pokey petals, right? Now again, you are very gentle, but if it tears a little bit, nobody is going to know the difference unless you tell them, because there's so many layers and so much fluffiness that you can't tell if 1 or 2 petals tear a little. No big deal, okay? You just kind of shove it back in there, nobody knows, or finish tearing it off the rest of the way. Okay. There we go. And some more. And some more. Till we get all those layers. Very gently. See, I tore that one a little bit and y'all can't even tell. All right. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. Okay. So again, it's whichever direction. Oh my gosh, this would be such a cute corsage too. Look at that. You could make a matching one just like that. They can wear it around their wrist. OMG, that is so cute. Perfect size too. Okay, but see the difference. So there's the pokey side or the curved side. They are both pretty, it's just a different type, right? Now we're going to take one of our sticks, and what you're going to do is you tie your flower, or twist if you have twist tie or pipe cleaners, and just as tight as you can, just tie that on there. Then you could trim these little extras off just like that, and now you have a beautiful flower to be able to give that special lady in your life. Now, had I pulled these this direction, it would have completely enclosed around the stick, so the stick would have been in the middle. See what I'm saying? So if you want kind of that look, then you may want to think about doing a couple extra sheets of tissue paper. I did 9, and maybe 11 would be better to really completely hide that stick, right? Okay, because so you can still kind of see it. So if you want to completely hide it, then do more tissue so it just completely closes around that stick. But very fun idea. Now, do more, right? I could do another white flower that I do different color tip on, maybe purple, maybe pink, maybe orange, maybe yellow, and then you can put them all together, tie them up, and you'll have a whole bouquet for that special someone, right? Or you could even stick these in a vase, and they are flowers that never die, right? What a novel idea. Squirt them with a little perfume. Now we're getting there, right? So I really, really love doing this project. I do it multiple times a year for multiple people in my life or for decorations, and never fails, always makes somebody happy. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that you're going to spread the kindness on to somebody else. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Please, please, please do all that awesome social media stuff. Like this, share it, subscribe, thumbs up, all of that awesome stuff, and feel free to leave me some comments or pictures of your finished product. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks.